Welcome to the deep dive where we extract the most important nuggets of knowledge to get you truly informed. You know, there's that famous line from Hemingway in The Sun Also Rises. It happened gradually, then suddenly. And that feels like the perfect description for artificial intelligence, doesn't it? For decades, it was this, well, quiet academic thing, and then bam, seemingly overnight, it just exploded into our lives. AI is everywhere now. Magazine covers, global debates with world leaders, even the Pope's talking about it. This really isn't just tech talk anymore. It feels like a profound cultural shift is happening. But at its heart, AI is still grappling with a question posed way back in 1950 by the brilliant Alan Turing. He asked, can machines think? Such a simple question, but it really laid the foundation for AI's long history, and it's where we're starting this deep dive. Today, we're going to explore AI, from the basic concepts right through to its global impact. We're using a guide made for travel and tourism leaders as our sort of map, our mission, to give you a clear, concise, engaging intro to AI. Cut through the hype, understand how it works, why it's such a big deal now, and what it means for all of us. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and this couldn't be more timely, really. Think about AI like electricity. It's a multi-use technology, right? Not just for one thing. It's basically getting into every part of our lives, our businesses. Think communication, think travel, and tourism.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. So our goal here is to simplify these, let's be honest, pretty complex ideas. We want to reveal some of the magic inside the black box of AI so you can understand not just what AI is, but maybe more importantly, why it matters now. What's driving all this global buzz? And we'll get into those three core things that really explain the recent surge. Advanced algorithms, massive data, and just incredible computing power.
Absolutely. And it's really fascinating when you trace it back how these early academic ideas paved the way. It officially got its name, artificial intelligence, back in 1956, the Dartmouth Conference. But the public really started noticing when computers began, well, beating humans at complex stuff. Remember 1997, IBM's Deep Blue beating chess grandmaster Garry Kasparov? That was huge.
Landmark moment.
Yeah. And then in 2011, IBM Watson winning Jeopardy. These weren't just, cool tricks. They showed that with enough data and powerful software, machines could actually match or even beat human smarts in specific areas. And then you get something like Google DeepMind's AlphaFold, predicting protein structures. That feels like more than just winning a game show. What makes that such a leap?
Well, it's a fundamental shift, isn't it? Deep Blue and Watson, they showed machines could solve problems really fast. AlphaFold, though, it's helping us understand the actual building blocks of life. That's a total game changer for healthcare, right?
Yeah.
Speeding up drug research, understanding diseases like Alzheimer's, tackling complexity humans just couldn't manage alone. But what's fascinating here is how quickly AI jumped from just solving complex problems to creativity, to culture.
Right, the creative side.
Yeah, remember in 2018, an AI-generated painting, Edmund de Bellamy, sold for, what was it, nearly $500,000 at Christie's. That sparked a massive debate, about art and human creativity.
I remember that.
And that was just the start. By 2023, things got really vivid. Boris Eldagson won the Sony World Photography Award with an AI image.
Yeah.
Then refused the prize. Revealed it was AI. The fact you can make photorealistic images on a home computer in minutes now is just wow. And music, too. The Grammys said AI music is eligible. Paul McCartney used AI to pull John Lennon's voice from an old demo for Now and Then, the last Beatles song. That really hit a nerve, generationally.
That was incredible.
But it's not all smooth sailing. There are real concerns. We saw the Hollywood strikes in 2023. Actors, writers, worried about AI taking jobs, script writing, digital copies of actors.
Right, the job displacement fears.
Exactly. And then there's the whole disinformation problem. We've all seen those fake but totally realistic images go viral. The Pope in that puffer jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Generated in minutes. It just highlights this urgent need for, well, guardrails, regulations, codes of conduct, something to manage how this tech is used.
Okay, so you've outlined some definite risks there, but it's not all doom and gloom, surely. We've seen positive uses, too. Like Lionel Messi did that deepfake ad for PepsiCo, right? Personalized messages for fans.
That's true. There are definitely positive applications emerging.
So all these examples, the good and the bad, they built momentum. But the real tipping point, the thing that pushed AI truly mainstream, that was OpenAI's ChatGPT release, November 2022.
Absolutely pivotal.
It got over 100 million users in just 2 months, fastest growing consumer product ever at the time. And that accessibility on your desktop, your phone, that's the key difference from the early days, isn't it? Now we've got Google Bard, Microsoft Copilot. These sophisticated chatbots are just readily available.
Which brings us back to, well, what is AI fundamentally? There's no single definition everyone agrees on, but the Oxford English Dictionary calls it the capacity of computers or other machines to exhibit intelligent behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, AI systems seem to think, learn, act like humans. And sometimes they even go beyond human abilities by analyzing huge amounts of data, solving complex problems, making decisions. And this recent explosion, as you said, is driven by three interconnected things. You've got advanced algorithms, you've got enormous amounts of data, and you've got new developments in computing power. Put simply, algorithms tell computers what to do. Data tells computers what to learn. And computing power gives machines the muscle to actually learn and decide.
Okay, let's dig into those brains of AI, then the algorithms. With like traditional programming, you're coding very specific rules, right? If this happens, then do that. Like a digital doctor with set conditions for giving drug X.
Right, the logic is human-defined, hardwired in.
Exactly. But AI is different. It's not coded step by step. It learns how to solve the problem by looking at training data. So imagine that AI digital doctor again, trained on millions of scans to spot tumors. It's not following rules we gave it. It's figuring out its own way based on patterns it sees in the data.
That's the core difference, learning versus explicit instruction.
And it's genuinely revolutionary. There was a Swedish AI study, 2023, found AI breast cancer screening was as good as 2 radiologists.
Wow.
Yeah. Cut their workload by half and detected 20% more cancers early.
That's incredible potential.
It is. But this leads to the explainable AI issue. We can check the result, was there cancer or not. But understanding how the AI decided, that's the black box problem.
And it's a big hurdle.
Especially in critical areas like medicine. If the AI can't explain its reasoning for a life-changing diagnosis, how can we trust it? How can we integrate it responsibly? So this push for glass box AI, for transparency, it's vital for trust and acceptance.
Makes sense. You need accountability.
Definitely. So these AI systems learn in different ways. There are a few main training techniques. You've got supervised learning. Think of teaching a kid fruit names by showing labeled pictures, apple, banana. The AI learns from correct answers.
Okay. Learning with labels.
Then unsupervised learning, like giving the kid mixed toys and asking them to sort them without saying how. The AI finds hidden patterns in unlabeled data itself.
Discovering structure.
Got it. And reinforcement learning. That's more like training a dog with treats and corrections. Trial and error. The AI learns by aiming for rewards, positive outcomes.
Learning through feedback.
Exactly. And these methods, especially machine learning or ML for predictions and the more advanced deep learning, DL, using those artificial neural networks for complex stuff like art. That's what's powering modern AI.
Right. And building on that, if algorithms are the brains, then data is absolutely the fuel. And here's where it gets really interesting, because the amount of data we have now is just mind-boggling.
The data explosion.
Totally. Data is the new oil. It's almost an understatement now. By 2025, they estimate we could hit 175 zettabytes of data produced annually.
Zettabytes? That sounds like a lot.
It is. It's like, imagine storing info on 21 laptops for every single person on Earth. It's just this unbelievable flood. And it's fueled by, well, our smartphones, obviously. Social media, billions of messages daily.
Yeah.
And the Internet of Things, smart homes, city sensors. Everything's connected and generating data.
So much data.
And these huge, complex data sets, that's what we call big data, often described by the 4 Vs. Volume, just the sheer scale. Velocity, it's streaming in constantly, super fast, needs real-time handling.
Okay.
Right, it's everything from structured records, like bookings, to messy, unstructured stuff like social media posts. And veracity, this is crucial. Is the data accurate?
Right.
Trustworthy? Because even the best AI is useless with bad input.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. So this massive increase in data, both quantity and quality, is what's feeding the current AI wave. It gives the models the information they need to learn, get better, and do complex tasks like training self-driving cars or creating those super personalized travel suggestions.
Okay, so we have the algorithms, the brains, we have the data, the fuel. Let's talk about the machines behind AI, the computing power. Because training these sophisticated AI chatbots, like on billions of words, apparently that would take hundreds of years on a normal computer.
Yeah, the scale is immense.
But on a supercomputer, it's months. Or that analogy, trying to learn the internet yourself. 5.75 billion web pages. That'd take a human 11,000 years.
Wow.
A top supercomputer. months. So this incredible jump in computing power is really what's enabling all this AI innovation right now.
It goes back a bit, this trend.
Yeah, you can trace it to Moore's law from the 60s, right? Transistors doubling every 2 years, exponential growth. But for AI breakthroughs, we needed even more grunt. That's where GPUs, graphics processing units, came in, popularized by NVIDIA.
Originally for gaming, wasn't it?
Exactly, making games look realistic. But their trick was parallel processing, doing lots of calculations at once. Turns out, that's perfect for AI, especially deep learning, and the demand. It shot NVIDIA up to a market value over $1 trillion in 2023, up there with Apple and Microsoft.
Incredible growth, driven purely by AI demand.
And this intense need for these advanced GPU chips has sparked a sort of global geopolitical scramble.
Ah, the chip wars.
Yeah, it's not just business anymore, it's strategic. Controlling the infrastructure for future innovation. Silicon is the new leverage. Nations are pouring billions into securing chip supplies because they know controlling these tiny things means controlling the next tech wave.
And it's concentrated, right? Most manufacturing is in just a couple of places.
Hugely. Like TSMC in Taiwan and Samsung in South Korea makes something like 70% of the world's chips. We saw the impact during the pandemic. Chip shortages stopped car production lines.
Right. Shows the vulnerability.
And some companies, like Google, are even making their own AI-specific chips now. TPUs, tensor processing units.
Faster than GPUs.
Supposedly, like if a GPU prints a line of text at a time, a TPU prints a whole page, capable of nearly 400 trillion calculations per second, powering things like Google Translate.
Mind-boggling numbers.
And the scale of these setups. Microsoft's supercomputer for ChatGPT, 10,000 GPUs, costs millions, filled warehouses, fifth largest ever built.
Wow.
Now, these huge investments, they do raise worries about making the digital divide worse. We'll talk more about that soon.
Access becomes an issue.
But importantly for businesses, and maybe even for you listening, you don't necessarily need your own supercomputer. Cloud computing lets you rent this compute power and fine-tune existing AI models.
Makes it more accessible, theoretically.
Yeah. So, bottom line for this section, AI is algorithms plus data plus compute. Those three pillars working together. Okay, so now we get the pillars. But AI isn't just one single thing, right? It comes in different flavors. We can group it by capability, like artificial narrow intelligence, ANI. That's AI designed for specific tasks, smart speakers, chess computers, medical imaging. That's mostly what we have today.
Right, task-specific AI.
Then there's the theoretical artificial general intelligence, AGI, that could do any intellectual task a human can. Still science fiction mostly, though some AI shows, like sparks of it.
The dream, or perhaps nightmare, depending on who you ask.
And beyond that, artificial superintelligence, ASI, AI surpassing human intelligence. But maybe more practically, let's look at how AI functions today. There are different types based on functionality.
Yeah, let's look at a couple of those. First, expert systems. These are basically smart programs that mimic human expertise in a specific area. Think of a travel planning tool. It has a knowledge-based destinations, hotels, rules, and uses AI to give you personalized recommendations, maybe even handle bookings.
Okay, like a super smart travel agent.
Kind of. Benefits are saving time, cost, getting personalized service, accessing loads of info quickly. Then you have predictive AI. This uses past and present data to forecast what might happen next. Weather forecasting is a great example we all use. In travel, maybe an airline uses it to predict flight delays based on weather, maintenance logs, airport traffic. Helps them manage resources, minimize disruption for you. And predictive AI often works alongside other types of analytics. Descriptive, what happened, diagnostic why, and prescriptive, what to do. Gives a full picture.
Okay, so expert systems and predictive AI have been around. But the real game changer lately, generative AI.
The one everyone's talking about.
Exactly. ChatGPT just blew the doors open on this in late 2022. Unlike older AI that often work behind the scenes, generative AI actually produces new, creative content. Text, images, video, sound, based on your prompt.
Right. It creates things.
And it learns from massive training data sets, often built on what they call foundation models. These big, general-purpose AI models trained on broad data, adaptable for lots of tasks like writing marketing copy or building websites.
And the growth has been explosive.
Insane. It traces back to a Google paper in 2017, Attention is all you need. Since then, a 5-fold jump in scientific papers on it, $12 billion in venture capital just in the first half of 2023. It's dominating the news, social media. You can see why.
Yeah. And within generative AI, a key type is large language models, or LLMs. These are specifically designed to understand and generate human-like text. They're what power those chatbots we mentioned.
Like ChatGPT, Bard.
Exactly. You interact with them using prompts, just natural conversation, kind of like talking to a smart speaker. What's really impressive is their ability to remember context in the conversation. So if you ask about Usain Bolt's speed, then ask, how does that compare to a cheetah? The AI knows you're still talking about speed comparisons. It follows the thread.
That conversational memory is key.
Definitely. And they're versatile. They can translate, summarize huge documents, even create structured tables from reports.
Super useful.
Right.
But there's a catch, right?
Ah, yes. The big one, hallucinations.
Sounds worrying.
It can be. Hallucinations are when the AI spits out stuff that sounds totally plausible, confident even, but it's actually wrong, made up, unrealistic. For example, asking for specific publication dates, it might just invent dates that sound right but aren't.
Why does that happen?
It's usually down to gaps or inaccuracies in the training data, or just the complex way these models generate text. Sometimes they prioritize fluency over factual accuracy. So, the crucial takeaway for you is always verify AI-generated output, especially if it's for something important. Don't just trust it blindly.
Good advice. Treat it as a helpful assistant, but double-check its work.
Precisely. And researchers are working on this. There are also open source models you can fine-tune with specific accurate data to make them better for certain tasks. And of course, all this power is why we're seeing global discussions now about regulation governance, the UK AI Safety Summit, the EU AI Act, trying to get a handle on its impact.
Which brings us neatly to the human side of AI, the societal stuff, the challenges. Because while AI needs all this data and compute power, that raises big questions about privacy, security, governance, and maybe the starkest issue is the global digital divide.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
The International Telecommunications Union, the ITU, they estimated in 2022 that 34% of the world, that's 2.6 billion people, have never been online.
A third of the planet.
A third of the planet has zero access to AI and its potential benefits. The ITU is calling for universal and meaningful digital connectivity, basically saying this AI revolution has to benefit everyone, not make the gap even wider.
And affordability is a massive barrier.
Hugely. In the least developed countries, LDCs, just getting mobile broadband, can cost like 9% of someone's income. So no surprise, 64% of people there are offline.
It really puts things in perspective.
It does. It reminds me of that William Gibson quote from years ago. The future's already here, it's just not evenly distributed yet. That feels spot on for AI right now.
A perfect summary, and this raises an important question. Even for people who are online, there's another barrier. Skills. IT illiteracy. Lack of digital skills. That stops people engaging too. The AI skills gap is a real global problem.
Tell me more about that gap.
Well, Randstad did a big survey in 2023, 7,000 employees, 34 countries, found only 13% had received any AI training in the last year.
Only 13%, despite all the hype.
Right. Even though AI job postings apparently increased 20 times in 2023. And guess what? AI training was the third most requested type of development from workers themselves.
So people want the training, but aren't getting it.
Largely, yes. And another survey, GitLabs, found that often the lower-level employees, the ones most worried about AI taking their jobs, get the least training. Then IBM's Institute of Business Values predicts maybe 40% of the entire workforce might need reskilling in the next 3 years because of AI and automation. 40%.
Wow, that's a massive upheaval.
It is. But there are things being done. Actionable solutions. Lots of organizations, Microsoft Learn, Grow with Google, IBM Training, offer free online AI courses, often working with platforms like LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, ADX.
So resources are out there if you look.
They are. IBM, for instance, has committed to training 2 million people in AI by 2026, focusing on underrepresented groups. And companies themselves can do more practical, in-house stuff. Peer-to-peer training, just basic awareness sessions, co-mentoring.
So it's a mix of individual effort and company responsibility.
And government, too, really. It's a shared responsibility, starting with digital education in schools, right through to lifelong learning, especially crucial in those least developed countries to help close that digital divide, not widen it further.
Okay, so this deep dive has really shown the just immense potential of AI, transformative stuff. Our source material, that WTTC guide, even had a quiz where all the text and images were AI generated.
Quite convincing, too.
Yeah. And if you couldn't tell the difference, it just underlines how powerful today's AI really is. As the report says quite nicely, AI is still an engine. Our job now is to steer it. Steer it towards a destination of our choosing, a sector that is greener, safer, more prosperous, and more free. Understanding these basics, what we've talked about today, feels crucial for everyone trying to navigate this rapidly changing world.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it makes you think back to Alan Turing again. Back in 1949, he suggested we might be seeing only a foretaste of what is to come and only the shadow of what is going to be,
Feels very relevant now.
doesn't it? So maybe the final thought for you listening is about that balance. How do we fully harness AI's incredible power for personalization, efficiency, discovery, while actively tackling the ethical issues, managing the skills gap, and making absolutely sure that the future it promises is evenly distributed for everyone on the globe? What part will you play in shaping that destination?